mean, the kitchens are always getting smaller, which drives the demand for the manufacturers to come get more creative with equipment that will take up less footprint, or will do the work of 2 or 3 pieces of equipment with that one piece. So that's kind of the thing that'll constantly happen. Everyone wants to pay less lease, so they have smaller footprints. You still need the same number of seats to make the restaurant profitable. And guess where the sacrifice happens? In the back of the house.
Yeah.
So you just have to get creative and find ways to shrink kitchens and get the right equipment to make everybody successful.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Room for Seconds. Guest host again. I'm Josh Halpern. Today, we are here with the man, the myth, maybe even the legend, a guy who put wham in front of him when he came in. Chris McKenty from Ed Don. Chris, welcome to Room for Seconds. What's the significance of wham?
You placed it there. That's the significance of wham.
There's no camera evidence of that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So you work for Ed Don. We've
Yes.
worked together for a bunch of years. Your role at Ed Don, you were instrumental once a store signs a lease and basically getting things sorted towards construction. How do you guys approach it?
Typically, the funnest part for me is the design aspect. I know you guys have a prototypical blueprint of what the kitchen should look like, but each space creates its own unique challenge to try to make the cook line fit, the make line fit, and that's kind of a fun process. You get to know the franchisee, you get to work with Nick in construction, and all in all, that's my favorite part of that process, is the design. After that, putting the equipment package together is pretty self-explanatory because it's based on the design. But yeah, all in all, kind of a fun process and probably my favorite part of the whole thing. So
yeah, I mean, you guys specialize in that kitchen design. It's a specialty for you guys because you provide all of the kitchen equipment, you provide
Yes.
the small wares, packaging, etc. But realistically, in a lot of ways, your piece of the puzzle is one of the most important pieces of the puzzle, because if we get the kitchen design wrong, the store doesn't work right.
correct. It's the engine that drives the restaurant. And if the engine fails, the restaurant could fail. So we want to make sure we're doing that the right way. And sometimes some of those challenges come up during that design process where we're given a background, we're trying to work with some existing infrastructure, and we'll try to force it, and I'll be against it. But sometimes we have to make it work, and sometimes we just have to go another way.
Yeah. What's the old adage? You could do it fast, you could do it well, or you could do it cheap, but you can't do all three.
Correct.
You kind of have to live in that spectrum in what you do.
Yeah, our company's reputation, my reputation is on making sure that we're taking care of your franchisees and all of our customers, to make sure that we're doing them right and making sure that workflow is proper.
Yeah. When people hear the term distributor, most people think, oh, it must be a transactional relationship. But the truth of the matter is, Ed Don, your company, you guys are really seeking out proactive partnership. You want it to be way bigger than a transaction.
Oh, absolutely. I've never looked at any transaction. I've never looked at any customer as a transaction. I have great relationships with a lot of my customers. I feel like I have great relationships with your team. I've been invited to customers' weddings. I mean, if that's proof that it's not a transactional thing, I don't know what is. But my goal is always to do the right thing, and if we make a mistake, to own it and to correct it, and just make things right.
Did you and your team have to do the layout for the wedding as well, or were you or you were just invited along?
No, we just had to make sure we got a really nice wedding gift to thank them for all the years of business.
For the Don truck and the notepad and you put together a nice gift basket. You put together a nice gift basket. So you get the kitchen design. Now it's time to order the equipment. As we learned firsthand at Big Chicken, you could get a fryer for $30,000. You could get a fryer for $10,000. There's the Ferrari, there's the Ford, there's the Dodge, there's you name it. How do you guys think about that in terms of that notion of quality versus price, and durability versus less durable, et cetera?
It's a tough challenge, because you'll come into certain clients that want the Ferrari and can afford a Ferrari, or think they can afford the Ferrari. And so you give them a Ferrari, and I don't feel overly bad about it, because I know I've given them a piece of equipment that's going to do exactly what they wanted to do and have a lot of success with it. But, then there comes a time that you have to do what's right for the customer as well, and make sure that as this thing is growing, that you're writing the spec and getting the cost right on the equipment package that allows you guys to scale.
Anyone that wants the Ferrari is probably compensating for something else. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So the equipment comes in, and then you guys are so instrumental in everything for the grand opening. The small wares. I mean, realistically, by the time Don has done its job for the store, you've made sure that the store is set, ready to go for day one.
Yeah, correct. From the design to the equipment sales to the equipment installation to the furniture arriving on time and getting installed, to Tasha's side of it with the smallwares and resupply and the disposable showing up. And I mean, you guys are stocked and ready to go, and all that's left is for the food truck to show up.
Right. It's not sexy, but without your company, things go sideways very, very quickly for a restaurant.
It could. It puts a lot of pressure on our team, but we've been doing this for so many years, and I've got some really talented individuals that work with me that make it really easy.
I'm Gregg, and I've been a multi-unit operator for 26 years. I know how great it feels owning the right franchise brand, but choosing the right franchisor feels even better. At Craveworthy Brands, our hospitality-driven culture sets us apart because we're invested in your success at every single stage of your journey. We're operators alongside you, paving the way forward to give you a head start on greatness. Start your franchise journey at craveworthybrands.com.
How many stores a year, give or take, do you guys do the kitchen design work and installation and everything for?
Edward Don as a company, or my team personally? Personally, probably close to 100 restaurants a year.
It's big. That's like one every 3 to 4 days.
Pretty much, yeah. And then as a company, you magnify me times, there's 60 people. Not everybody does the same sales volume. It's probably a few thousand restaurants a year that we open.
Substantial.
Yeah.
Probably the number one market share in this area.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah. So what's on the horizon? Are there trends that you're starting to see in construction, whether it be new types of equipment or changes in how different stores are building their restaurants that you would want people to be aware of?
I mean, the kitchens are always getting smaller, which drives the demand for the manufacturers to come get more creative with equipment that will take up less footprint or will do the work of 2 or 3 pieces of equipment with that one piece. So that's kind of the thing that'll constantly happen. Everyone wants to pay less lease, so they have some smaller footprints. You still need the same number of seats to make the restaurant profitable. And guess where the sacrifice happens? In the back of the house.
Yeah.
So you just have to get creative and find ways to shrink kitchens and get the right equipment to make everybody successful.
That's interesting because in fast food, we look at it a little different where we say, look, the kitchen needs to be the kitchen because you need to maximize the throughput. But with more and more people taking food to go, ordering on third-party delivery apps, etc., you probably get by with less seats in the dining room because less and less mixes in the dining room. You disagree?
I don't know. It just depends on the concept, right? Like Big Chicken probably falls into that category where you're getting more, to-go food going than you would diners. I mean, I've witnessed that in the locations that I've gone to on a pretty regular basis. But I mean, it's unique to each brand. I thought that our design team and myself were pretty early on in trying to design to-go stations. And that's really evolved to where you have the lockers and everything else out there in the marketplace. So it's definitely something to keep cognizant of and watch that continue to evolve.
How do you personally stay current on all the trends?
The 2 main shows that, allow me to do that are NRA, annually here in Chicago. And then every other year is NAFM, which has been prototypically down in Orlando. And I spend a lot of that time. The first day I go into like the new innovations area for both those shows. I want to see the new stuff that's there and talk to those people individually and find out if there's anything in those stations that I can bring back to any of my clients to try to help them solve a problem. And outside of that, you go make the rounds to all the different manufacturers that you have those good partnerships with. And a lot of that is actually my favorite part, which is kind of leaning in and asking for those extra discounts for my customers and making that happen.
Wham. See, that's why it's in front of you.
Okay.
That's why it's in front of you.
Yeah.
All right. Chris, thanks for coming by. We really appreciate it. And we really appreciate all the partnership that Ed Don does for our company. So thank you very much.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey viewers, thanks again for supporting Room for Seconds. If you found this episode inspiring, interesting, or any bit informative, please hit that little subscribe button down at the bottom so you never miss an episode. In my 26 years in this amazing industry, I've been blessed with incredible mentorship. This show is my way of giving back. Follow me on LinkedIn, search Gregg Majewski, on Twitter, @Gregg_Majewski. If you still have room for more, visit our website at media.craveworthybrands.com. You'll find more videos, shows, notes, blogs, resources, and an easy way to get in touch with the Craveworthy Brands team. I'm your host, Gregg Majewski. Thanks again for tuning in to Room for Seconds.